Welcome back to Between the Horns, the official podcast of Texas Athletics. If you haven't already liked, comment, shared, subscribed, all those fun things, what are you waiting for? It's free. Go ahead and do it. Today, we're joined by a very special guest, an NCAA champion and the reigning Big 12 Swimmer of the Year. Emma, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me.
Now, it's definitely a recurring thing. There's conspiracy theory going on. I'm being singled out. I'm the only Dallas person, always. We have another Katie person.
Let's go, KTX.
KTX? We can rock with that.
What was it like growing up in Katy?
Oh, wow. I love Katie so much. Probably didn't appreciate it as much. I appreciated it, but like being away from it now in college, like it was really so great. Like the schools there are so amazing and so competitive as well. And so like, there's a lot of people like on my team that are like, oh, like I didn't do high school swimming. Like it wasn't a thing. But
that's
like,
so wild.
but no, not in Katy. Like you were in high school swim and you did club and you went to every high school practice. You went to every club practice. So like for sports, it was great. But yeah.
So we know you went to Taylor High School, and then your club team was at Katy Aquatics, right? I know I see the buildings everywhere driving around. So can you talk a bit about your experience like doing club swim, like as a youth?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so I joined club swim when I was in 4th grade because I didn't like to lose in summer league and I wanted to get better. So that was way long ago.
That's motivation. Yeah. That'll do it.
Got really serious about it in 8th grade and then freshman year of high school when you could do high school swim and club. It was just super fun. I still keep in touch with my club coach, Coach Tim.
Amazing.
I was thinking about calling him today, actually. So, Coach Tim, if you're listening.
Shout out Coach Tim.
Yeah.
One question I always love to ask is when did you figure out, like, okay, I am maybe just more naturally gifted, or I just have a knack for this sport compared to kids my age?
Mm-hmm. I would say probably like again back in middle school. I did try to do most of the sports. People are always so surprised when I'm like, oh, I did volleyball, basketball, and all of that stuff in high school while swimming, just because I have such bad FOMO, and I still do to this day. Like I wanted to be in all of the sports with my friends. And I always made the B teams.
Oh man, I feel you.
Oh my god.
Secretly, C team on basketball. We won't talk about it. We won't
gosh.
talk about it.
Oh my gosh, I just have to share this story really quick. My weights coach here was like, did you play any other sports? And I was like, yeah, first string, B team. But yeah, still swam all through that. And so I kind of knew swimming was going to be my focus once I got to high school. So yeah.
You know, one of the funniest stories that my mom tells me, how she learned how to swim. Her mom, when she was a baby, just like threw her in the pool. Yeah. And she learned how to swim that way. My mom's a great swimmer today. She taught me how to swim. So I want to know, how did you learn how to swim?
Good question. Well, I did grow up with a pool in my backyard, which is very helpful, especially when your parents want you to learn how to swim, not drown, My dad built like a porch around the back door, so like I couldn't get into the pool, thankfully, or anything like that. But they were like, we have to teach her how to swim if she's gonna have a pool in the backyard. So I just was in the water from like at a very young age. Was never really scared of it. And yeah, that's just,
You just figured it out.
yeah, I don't think they really ever threw me in the pool, but
I would
floaties
hope
were
not. I think that was
floaties
more
were
of
a
a
thing.
Floaties? No lessons? No swim lessons?
Swim lessons? Oh, my mom's probably gonna get mad at me if I did I do swim lessons?
She's like, I paid for them.
She's like, no, I think like I learned how to swim in my pool in the backyard, and then they put me in the summer league like down the street from us. So like.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Growing up, like, do you all for swimmers? How do you go about getting recognized by colleges? Do you kind of swim individually, or is it more kind of based off kind of your high school team? What is that process like?
It's really based off club swimming, I would say. Really, like all you have to do is just get times in high school, like get faster and get better, and like honestly the college coaches will find you. Like whatever the date is, I don't know.
The junior year
The junior thing.
yeah.
Well, I was actually the first class that could do official visits the junior year when they made that switch. So yeah, basically on that date, whether it was September 1st or somewhere in the summer, they would just like all contact you, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, and then take it from there.
Yeah, our last guest, Rory, was talking about how, like, that leading up to that day, you're kind of nervous because it's really a deciding factor of, like, okay, my phone is either going to blow up or it's not. And it's like, what was that process like for you?
I remember being super excited. Yeah, I got a few emails, and I remember trying to like just make the best decision I could, which I did. But I kept a journal through the whole process too, like to really write down everything like that I was learning from about each school and all of that. So yeah.
Why ultimately then did you decide to choose Texas?
So many great reasons for that. Like I said, as a 16-year-old, I just was like thinking back on it now. I'm like, who gave me the responsibility to make a choice like that? Like as a senior in high school, you just have so many options, and like you realize that there's all these schools that want you. And like I grew up in Texas, and so I don't think I really appreciated like UT growing up. It's just like I grew up around it, and so I was like, I'm gonna go out of state. Like I can go anywhere.
Oh man, I had
you know
the
what I'm
same
saying?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Until I came here and like I met the girls on the team, and they were just so quirky and weird and awesome. And I wanted to be a part of that family, and as well as like the coaches, Carol, and she was just super like focused on like me as a person first, and like was like the only coach who didn't make me feel like a number on a page. Like on our first recruiting call, she like asked me about like school and like friends and just like about me, and then I was like, can I call you back so I could ask you questions about swimming? I was like, yeah, for sure. So I think just like from like starting off with that, like I just really connected and vibed, and I'm so close to home, and it's awesome.
Can you take us back into like your freshman year? So getting onto campus, one of the reoccurring questions that we kind of ask all of our student athletes here is, what's your welcome to Texas moment? That first practice, that first weightlifting session, whatever it may be. What was your welcome to Texas moment?
Welcome to Texas moment. Welcome to Texas moment was in COVID.
Oh man.
So like freshman year is such a blur. Sometimes I'm like, wow. But I would have to say it would be, okay, so they had just built the outdoor pool at the TSC, and they had been trying to get that pool for like 40 years or something. And I just like walk on my freshman year, and I'm like, it's here. Like I just have this amazing pool. But I remember we had like our first practice out there and our first like meetup. We all had masks on, and I, had grown up swimming at this pool, and the outdoor pool was just so nice, and it was beautiful and good to be outside.
Yeah. And taking a quick step back, I think we always think about, from the student athlete's perspective, them making this decision. But what was this decision like for your family, your parents? Like, kind of what did y'all kind of talk about and kind of think about the best place for you to not only pursue a sport but also get your education?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, talking about it with my parents, I don't really remember any specific conversations with them, but I think we were just really looking for the best combination of academics and athletics, which bias maybe, but like you really can't get that. You can't get any better than here. And like they were so happy. Honestly, they were pretty laid back and going to support me with whatever I felt was right. But when I did decide Texas, they were like so happy. Yeah. Like, you got that in-state.
They don't have to fly anywhere, right?
Yeah. And that was super nice. And then like, with our meet schedule, they were here last weekend or 2 weekends ago for our U of H meet, and now they're coming back this Friday for TCU. Awesome. So just like, oh cool, like I'll go to dinner with you guys. It's just so nice being so close.
Yeah. Do you come from a family of athletes?
My dad played football in college in Ohio, Marietta College. Mm-hmm. And my mom, she did the baton twirling.
That's a sport. That's a sport. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. They have to do the splits and stuff.
Oh man, I can do the splits.
But yeah, some athleticism there. They're gonna get mad at me and be like, "We're so athletic." Yeah.
Where do you find, or what do you point to when you look at your life, like, of your competitive drive? Like, where does that come from for you?
Oh man, my competitive drive. Well, we know that I have it.
No.
It's there. I deal with it every day. I'm like, stop, relax.
No, I feel you. Yeah.
You're fine. But I kind of said it earlier where I was like in summer league, like didn't want to lose. I kept getting all the second place ribbons, and so my parents put me in club and I got better. And even like in middle school when I was talking about all those sports that I did, I was like, I have to be involved in this so I can play with my friends. I was super competitive in that too. I'm not really sure, but born with it.
Born with it. That's the right answer.
Love that, yeah. Okay, second recurring question. It could be any of your coaches. Coach Carroll, it could be Coach Reese. Your best impression.
Don't let us get you in trouble now.
Best impression?
Best impression.
Carol.
Okay. Oh, we standing up.
This is what she does. All practice. This is the perch.
Oh man.
She will perch on the block. Yeah. She will perch on things, and you're like, how are you not going to fall?
Her calves are probably incredibly strong.
They are. No slop city. No. All right. Okay. This is chill city. No one go any 30s though. Okay. All right.
That is the best
awesome.
impression we have had.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
That's just so easy. One time for Halloween last year, it was Halloween, we all dressed up like her. And we all get there early, and every single one of us, like some of us are perched on the blocks, people are perched on the bleachers, and I think it was like the second year in a row that we had done that, and she was just kind of like, yeah, I get it. Like,
Halloween's only 2 weekends away.
Oh,
Carol, it's coming back.
This next segment is This or That. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let's dive into it. Emma? You good, man?
I have no idea what you're going to ask.
You ready?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
solid. Night or morning practice?
Night, yeah.
Free or fly?
Fly.
Michael Phelps or Mark Spitz?
Michael Phelps.
Cowboy hat or boots?
Oh, boots. Yeah.
Sweet or salty?
Salty. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Belly flop or cannonball?
Belly flop.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning person, not a night owl.
Summer or winter Olympics?
Summer.
No, that's
I was like winter.
City or countryside?
Countryside.
Salad or sandwich?
Sandwich.
Italian or Mexican?
Mexican.
Okay.
Dress up or dress down?
Dress up.
Lake or beach?
Beach.
Okay.
Call or text?
Call.
Amusement park or water park?
Amusement park.
Really? Over the water park?
They're gross.
That was This or That. Now let's dive back into the conversation. Emma, I think one thing that's really interesting about coming to a school like University of Texas is you need to be mentally tough enough to kind of deal with the adversity, deal with the pressure. So what has that adjustment process been like of coming to the University of Texas, and how have you handled that pressure?
Yes, there definitely is a pressure that comes with representing Texas. I mean, you're coming to an athletic program with so much success and like so much previous success. Like we're sitting in the Hall of Fame and there's all these trophies everywhere and you're like, wow, it's my job to like uphold all of this. And again, like in high school, I didn't really understand that either, but that's okay. But yeah, it's only grown like since I've been here. Like as a freshman, you're kind of like, oh, like I'm so young, I'm just gonna sit back and whatnot. But you know, like the older I get, the faster I get. It's a lot.
How would you say being at Texas has developed your swimming technique?
It has developed it a lot. This is also another come to Texas moment, or what we were talking about earlier, but I think it was like the first fly practice I had here. Pretty good flyer out of high school, you know? When I came here the first day of practice, and Mitch and Carol were like, have you always swam like that? I was
man.
I was like, okay. But yeah, I've already fixed like so many things in my time of being here. Like in high school, I really love this about our coaches, and just they're so talented. Like they can see a high school swim a race, and you could be like, they could get so much faster. And I feel like, I was good in high school. I was a good high school swimmer. I never made the national junior team or like any of those types of things in high school, but I just like really am glad that like Carol saw me swim and was like, that girl has so much potential.
Really quickly, I want to dive into that. A lot of the people who are on these like U22, U21 teams have been together since U15, U16.
Mm-hmm.
How has it been for you where you weren't on those youth teams, but you were just in U23? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you so much. I will say I'm gonna act really chill about it right now, but like it has driven me so much, like in my career. Just like again with the FOMO that I have, and like like I just always wanted to be a part of something like that. Like who doesn't want to represent their country like at 17 and whatnot? And like, I always thought I had the potential to, but I wasn't sure like if I could. Like you think you're good enough to do it, but you're like, am I crazy for thinking that? Can I actually do it? And so like when I came here, I guess like I kind of like dove into that more, I guess you could say, and like I've just been growing and realizing like I do belong and like I can do things like that,
Yeah, a bit of that imposter syndrome that a lot of people go through, yeah.
And sometimes you just need a little more work and a little more practice, and it's okay to be a late bloomer sometimes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
What is your I guess like pre-swim process now look like? Like what are you mentally telling yourself? What's in the headphones? How do you get yourself ready for a meet?
I would say we set a lot of goal times and like goals like that in the beginning of the season. But I think it's really helpful to not think about the time or think about the outcome that you want. If you focus on what you need to do in the race, like the plan of it and like the execution of it, and like blocking kind of whoever else is in your heat or something like that. Like that's really helped me. Like some people like to focus on time, but personally like having like just that one thing in your head is kind of stressful and like can put more pressure. So I almost try to take like the pressure off. Like last year I broke 50 in the 100 fly at like our NC State. at our NC State dual meet, and I was not planning to do that. Like all I was thinking about when I got up there was like, I just need to beat this girl. Like that's all I wanted to do is just race. What's in the headphones? Ooh, sorry. Lots of Drake, lots of rock, scary music.
Interesting.
Scary music?
That's the first. That's the first.
Scary, no pop, no.
No pop.
No pop at all?
It's like,
Drake or rock?
actually I lied. I like Beyonce.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Drake, Beyonce, and like Guns N' Roses.
Yes, you got it. That's the lineup.
What's been your most memorable race here at Texas?
Oh, which one?
There's too many.
Which one? No, I'm kidding. Definitely the national championship.
I figured.
You guys, that was your segue.
Yeah, it was. You caught me.
Got you. Oh, yes. So memorable. Lot to unpack there. I'll let you.
Let's unpack.
Let's
Talk to me
unpack.
about being a national champion. How did that feel? Tell me all about it.
Wow. How did that feel? It felt great. Turning around and like ripping off my cap. There's a video. I don't know if you've seen the video, but it was a pretty close race, and like everything you can't really hear because there's water in your ears and your cap and everything. But like I touched the wall, and I like remember knowing I was like, dang, I came back on that. But like it's like a muffled, like I hear, I'm like, that's me. Like turn around so fast, rip my cap off, and like see the one, but then see the time too, and I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, this is everything. This is what it all came to. And like, yeah.
That's an incredible moment.
Yeah, it is. There's nothing like it.
I think the swim might be the only sport where you can't hear or you can't hear directly what the crowd is actually saying, right? And that also includes like some of the times like your coaches and like teammates trying to cheer you on.
Yeah.
So what do you think about when you're in the water?
Oh man. So, like I said before, I think the problem comes when you are thinking too much. The positive self-talk is so important, and it's like, okay, you just need whatever, how long your race is, 2 minutes or whatever. You need 2 minutes of just like super positive, like uplifting, and like the second your brain goes south, it's more mental than anything. Like, you put in the work, your body knows how to do it and is capable of crazy things. But I think really like training the mind is what came in handy this year. Like, I was super confident in my race plan that like I could kind of see what was going around me, and I didn't let it worry me. I was like, nope, you're so good. You're doing so good. This is awesome. Like, this is so fun. Yes, you're doing good. And then, like, last wall, final push. I'm like, go, let's go.
Yeah.
You got her.
Yeah.
Just
awesome.
like that.
Yeah.
I think your career here at Texas thus far is a really amazing example of like progression and how you can get better year after year. And last year, you were Big 12 Swimmer of the Year.
Yes.
Can you dive into that?
Yes, I can. Big 12 Swimmer of the Year. Well, we're very successful in swimming in the Big 12. And I would just say, like, a lot of that is coming down to, like, the other girls on the team, like Big 12 Swimmer of the Year. And it's just crazy to have that title because there are so many talented women on my team, right? You have Lydia, Kelly, Dakota, like Erica. You could name so many girls on the team that could have that title and deserve that title too. And like, I've really like loved having it this year. I just like, you come in here as a freshman and you see older girls, like, it's usually older. Not necessarily our freshman class is really good this year. Anybody could do it. But you're like, oh, that's for them. I don't know if I'll ever be in that. And then now I have it and I'm like, wow.
That's awesome. One thing I want to dive into is there's a website, particularly for the swimming community, called Swim Swam. There's no other sport that has this, but essentially, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's a kind of like a Reddit, if you will, just for swimming.
like
And
that.
That's a good way to
like there's,
describe
the swimmers get direct feedback from some so-called experts and whatnot, but like you get direct, I guess, like criticism, right? So how do y'all as student athletes trying to get better, take the criticism, whether that be from swim scrum or wherever else it may come from, and I guess like turn it into, use it to fuel you, block that out. Like how do you kind of approach that?
Yes. Well, like you said before, I like how you said it's like a Reddit thread. That's the best way to describe it. And it's so crazy. It really just is the swimming world. Like, if I'm talking to somebody who doesn't know, probably like you.
Yeah, I was
they're
like, what is
that? I'm like, swim is like everybody's life.
What?
Right? Just like, because there's so much constant feedback on there. Like, they post like, more than 10 articles a day, like on their story, and you can just click and read things about like everyone, and so it's, you do have to kind of be careful sometimes. Like, we're friends with some of the reporters and things like that, but they'll come out with things that it's like NCAA point projection or like, I don't know, like Emma Sticklen, there's an article, it's like Emma Sticklen becomes like a 3-point threat this year or something like that. And I love attention.
That's real.
I'm not gonna lie, I love attention. And so like it's really tempting to like read some of that. And like I do read some of it, but I think there does become a point where you kind of have to like put it away sometimes and like not really listen to that. Because like I said, I don't really like to think about like point projections, times, this, that, and like things like that. And the other thing I will say is that there's a comment section on SwimSwam after every article. And like, if there's a comment section and if the article's about you,
Oh man, you're definitely
you're going down to the comment section. And, sometimes there's some really uplifting stuff in there, and sometimes there's not.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes you really do have to have the discipline to be like, or someone who's not saying something that's not great, you're like, okay, like, I know who I am, I know what I go through, like, they don't. Hiding behind a username.
No,
Right?
seriously.
Yeah.
What's bringing you happiness, joy, fulfillment outside of swimming?
Happiness, joy, fulfillment outside of swimming. I am a believer. I go to church every Sunday with my friends on the team. That's definitely brought me a lot of joy and keeps me grounded, like, in a world that is just so crazy, things like that, as well as, like, hanging out with my teammates. The other day we were, like, talking, we were like, do I call you guys my friends or my teammates? And I was like, but my only friends are my teammates. No, not really. Guys, I'm kidding, I have friends.
We believe you.
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
you.
But we're always doing fun things when we
Nice.
can out together, because we do really love spending time together.
Yeah. What has been some, I guess, the most memorable team bonding exercises? What is a swim team, one of the best swim
do you
teams
guys
in the
bond?
nation, to
How?
create chemistry? Yeah.
Lots of our bonding is around food and meals. So, like, even eating at the tank is super fun. We just sit, like, all after practice, whether we're just, like, dead or, like, stuff like that. And we do team dinner every Friday. Like, we came up with that a few years back. We're just, like, everyone takes time aside each week, and that's when we hang out and eat dinner together. I do have to share this. As soon as you said that, we did something last Friday that was so hilarious. Erica Sullivan got this game where it was like you had a pen and it was like attached to strings on this contraption, and 3 people were picked. One person has to wear headphones, the other person's mouth is taped, and
What
the
is
other
going
person
on here?
has an eye mask. And you have to try to spell the word with the pen.
Wow,
The
well,
3 people
yeah,
do,
yeah.
and I wish I could, like, put a video up here of how
You have to send this video. Yeah,
I
yeah.
should, of how funny it was, just to, like, get together and, like, laugh so hard. It's just
We're
so
gonna have to
great.
like put that video up.
Oh,
Up
Should.
there.
sure,
I think you
sure,
should.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
send you some.
So Emma, you've been here for a couple of years now. I know you've got to be thinking about some of your future goals. What are those looking like?
Future goals, this year I think our team is super special and super talented. So, like, with the winning history and culture of Texas, like, that's definitely, like, on our minds. 3rd place my freshman year, second, senior year, right?
Right.
Come
only
aboard.
one
We know what's
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
You know what's next. And that's kind of, like, always been the goal, like, always been the big hairy goal, I guess you could say. And I'm super excited, and our team is really, like, rallied around that idea, and everyone's, like, super bought in. But at the same time, we, like, know that that's not the only thing that defines our success here. Like, it's all about the relationships and the other ways that we grow, and there's so many other ways that happens. And our coaches have also, like, tried to, like, instill that in us, like, where they try not to put pressure on us, which I think, like, can happen a lot. Coaches like, you got to do this. But our coaches are so, like, you guys are capable, but, like, that's not the only thing that, like, matters,
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. And the final question to close out this amazing episode, Emma, is what makes Texas elite?
What makes Texas elite?
We ask every athlete,
You ask every athlete.
every coach.
What makes Texas elite? Well, Texas has just so much history of being a leader in college athletics. Like, I've taken, like, some sports management classes on the side here, and, like, in a college media class right now, and, like, learning about all the conferences, and, like, when this was Southwest Conference was on my test and all that kind of stuff. And just like, or like even our coaches, that Longhorn woman movie where it was like with Donna Lopiano with the
I'm unfamiliar.
I'm blanking.
I'm blanking on what it's called, but just like the progression of like women's athletics and just like the whole athletic program in general, like I think that's what makes Texas elite, is just like from the start, from the beginning of time, we have just been a powerhouse and been wanting to lead the way, and we definitely continue to do that.
Sure. That's awesome. Emma, thank you so much for taking time. Super excited to see you crush it this year.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Emma.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me,
Good luck
guys.
this season.
Got her off that.